So this machine works with 4 threads, and because it's 4 threads, that is why it can sew. So it can sew t-shirts, it can sew stretchy fabrics without seam allowance. So which means if you will be sewing a stretchy fabrics without seam allowance, you can make use of this machine. This is another type of sewing machine. This sewing machine falls under the category of domestic machine, and the subcategory is semi-automatic. It is semi-automatic because it is not fully operated on manual mode. Unlike the domestic manual machine where you paddle with your leg, for this type of machine, you make use of the pedal. The pedal is connected with electricity, so when you press the pedal, the machine gets engaged. So some of the parts of the machine that can be operated automatically are the bobbin winding. To wind the bobbin, you wind the bobbin automatically on this type of machine. But to thread this machine, you do that manually. So you can see. So you thread it manually the same way you thread the domestic manual machine. So though the threading is not the same thing, but still in manual mode. So another thing is, because this machine is designed to work with electricity, it is faster than the manual domestic sewing machine. So which means you can still tax this machine more than the manual. So it works faster than the manual. Another function of this machine is the buttonhole functions. This machine has 4 steps buttonhole, which means you can make a buttonhole with this type of machine. So if you are making clothes or your clothing construction has to do with buttonholes, you need this type of machine. So this is the function. So once you fix the buttonhole foot, then you adjust the setting to make a beautiful buttonhole in 4 steps. So another function on this machine is the zigzag function. The zigzag function enables the machine to operate or undo all kinds of fabrics. Apart from the zigzag stitches, the machine also has different decorative stitches. It has up to 4 decorative stitches. There are some that has more than 4. 10 decorative stitches, 20, 30, 50, 80, 100, 150, 200, and so on and so forth. But they still fall under the category of domestic sewing machine, and the subcategory is a semi-automatic. So this type of machine is suitable for you if you have a domestic manual machine already and you want to invest more on sewing machine. So because of the functions, so it has different functions, the buttonhole functions, the zigzag functions, the decorative stitches, the bob. It is mobile. You can move it from one place to another, so you can invest on this type of machine. So guys, having said this, let's move on to the next sewing machine. This is another type of sewing machine. This machine falls under the category of industrial, so which means it is an industrial sewing machine, and it falls under the subcategory of semi-automatic. So if you are thinking of investing on a very fast machine that can serve you very well, machine that you can overtask, I recommend an industrial sewing machine because it is heavy duty. It is called an industrial sewing machine. It is very fast, it is durable, it is rugged, it can sew all type of fabrics. There is no fabric this machine cannot sew. So if you are into ready to wear, you want to make a mass production, you run a fashion house, or you are into male outfits, you can invest on this type of machine. This type of machine can only be operated with electricity. It cannot be operated manually. Mostly all industrial sewing machines work with electricity. So let's look into some of the functions of this industrial sewing machine. The first function is it can wind a bobbin automatically. It has an automatic bobbin winder. So this is where you wind the bobbin. And for the stitch, it's just a straight stitches, only straight stitches. So please don't get confused. Being an industrial sewing machine doesn't mean it has all functions. No, it has only straight sewing stitches. It is not designed to make buttonholes. It is not designed to make decorative stitches. It is not designed to make zigzag stitches. It is only designed to make an heavy duty, for heavy duty purpose. So to thread the machine, you thread the machine manually. It is not automatic threading. So the threading is manual, not automatic. So you thread it manually. So it goes down and come into the needle. So this is the bobbin. This is its bobbin. This is the bobbin case. So with this type of machine, you can work from morning to night without getting tired. Easy to operate, and you don't need much energy to work with this type of machine, unlike the domestic one that requires energy. So you work from morning to night, no stress. Can you see the speed of the machine? If you have a domestic sewing machine already, either manual or semi-automatic, you can add this to your machines, most especially if you are into ready to wear, you make male outfits, you run a fashion house, you make mass production, or you have heavy duty tasks to do. So I recommend this industrial sewing machine. So guys, let's move on to the next sewing machine. This is another type of sewing machine. This type of machine falls under the category of industrial and subcategory of automatic. Everything about this machine is fully automatic and it is computerized. This machine has automatic bobbin winder, automatic buttonhole, that is one-step buttonhole, automatic speed control, automatic needle threader, and automatic thread cutter. This type of sewing machine usually comes with varieties of built-in stitches ranging from 60 to 200. Some of the stitches include different buttonhole designs, blind stitches, zigzag stitches, and all kinds of decorative stitches. Many of these machines are designed to work without foot pedal. There is a start and stop button design with the machine. This machine is usually an heavy duty which can handle all types of fabrics. The varieties of decorative stitches also allow you to create embroidery and monogramming designs. So if you already have a domestic or industrial straight sewing machine, you can invest on this sewing machine, but not ideal for beginner. The last but not the least type of sewing machine I'll be showing you in this video is the overlocking sewing machine. This machine falls under the category of industrial and the subcategory is semi-automatic. So this machine works with 4 threads, and because it's 4 threads, that is why it can sew. So it can sew t-shirts, it can sew stretchy fabrics without seam allowance. So which means if you will be sewing a stretchy fabrics without seam allowance, you can make use of this machine. But if your fabric is going to be with allowance, you cannot make use of this machine, because as it is sewing, it will be trimming off the excess on the wrong side of the fabric. So we have the one of 4 threads. This is with 4 threads. We have the one of 5 threads, and we have the one of 3 threads. The 4 and the 5 threads ones are the one that can sew and overlock at the same time. But for the 3 threads, it can only overlock, it cannot sew. So if you are into t-shirts making, or you sew more of stretchy fabric without seam allowance, so you can make use of this machine, or you can add it together with the ones you have already. So it sew and overlock at the same time. So guys, we've come to the end of this video. I want to believe you've learned so many things regarding sewing machines, and by now you know the kind of machine to invest on. If you have any question concerning this video, kindly drop them at the comment section, as I will be so glad to attend to them all. Till we meet next time, when I will be dropping another informative video from the stable of Reggae School of Fashion. Always remember, there is no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs.